My favorite part of the entire course, selecting people parts. Now, Adobe don't call it selecting people parts. Let's get into it. I'll grab a great image of some lovely kids. I'm going to tap the letter M. You're not surprised by that. Now, I'm going to wipe out what I've already done in the past. I'm going to wipe it out right here in the top right. Boom. All right, here we go. What am I going to select? Well, let's see. Did you flinch? Did you see that? Did you see what happened? Let me show it to you again. I'm going to go back in. Boy, did it happen quick. You're going, what happened quick? I'm going to go back to my masks. When I delete these, it's going to present me with the AI buttons again. But I want you to look at the bottom. Look right here. It's finding people. And the little hamster running on its wheel was taking off once again until it found all the people. All the people? Now watch, I hover. All the people. All the people's parts. Those are called people, whole parts. I could go look at person 1, person 2. It's fascinating, isn't it? It automatically isolates individuals in your image. Now, it doesn't work when you have small people in a crowd, for example, but for portraits and family work and almost all other cases, honestly, it's an incredible piece of masking. Person 1, when I click it, then the hamster wheel ran quickly again and it says, I assume, Rick, you want the entire person. Okay, just absorb what you've seen. I don't want the entire person. Maybe I do. But in this case, I don't. This is mind-blowing, of course. I just want his facial skin or his body skin. Skin that's not on the face. His eyebrows. Okay, here's a crazy one. His eye sclera. What's sclera? The whites of his eyes. I want his pupil and iris. Iris and pupil. I want the lips. I want the teeth. I want the hair. Now, I just hovered, but if I actually do want, are you hearing me, a mask that has his face skin mixed with, merged with his body skin and his lips and his eyebrows. Everything I'm checking by default is a merge into one mask that I'd like you to create right now. Create. Now I'm going to do it so we can take a peek. Create. And there, in fact, is that mask of 4 body parts stuck together. Pretty fascinating. Look, it shows me it already has subcomponents. His lips, his eyebrows, his skin, right? So they show up automatically as subcomponents. Let's wipe it out and go look again. I'd like all the people. The entire people? No. Check out what I do this time. And while this saves me so much time, it does require a little bit of effort, not much. I want both persons, parts, but I want them on 8 separate masks. Now, I can't just click and get out of here. I can't just say done. No, I have to hit create. Create the 8 separate masks that will now have both people's hair, teeth. Are you starting to imagine the possibilities here? It's incredible. I can go back and make more. Now, since I already have some masks, I'm not presented with the AI buttons, am I? I have to pull out and select my people in this way. And I'd like to just get all my people entire parts at the same time as a subject selection. Now, I'm wondering how different it would be if I just said, hey, would you please select my subject? Would it be different? Notice there was a difference. Look how glowy the outside edges were when I just did the combined people. So I'm going to throw that away. I'm going to take that particular mask and sneak over here to the 3 buttons and not delete all masks, but I'm going to delete that mask. I found a better option in the select subject. I have hair, teeth, and so on. Now, what kinds of things might we do? What kinds of things might we do? And this is where it gets exciting, right? I'm grateful that it selected all those things in a way that I could never do in less than 5 minutes before. But here it is. Hey, I want the people's body skin. I want the people's face skin. Let's talk about the face skin. What kinds of things might you do? Well, I'm going to hide my overlay. Well, I might play with the exposure. I might play with texture to either emphasize details or decrease details. Now, these are little boys, and they don't care about their facial details yet. But there is a group of human beings called vain teenagers and adults who care greatly about such things. And so we would utilize the ability to dial down texture and or clarity to smooth flesh. Good thing I have a quick way to select it. Fascinating. Okay, let me cancel. Let's go look at a couple more. Beautiful family. I hope it does a good job when I go to my masks. Now I already have some, so I'm going to sneak over and say, please select my people. And I'm curious, I'm interested here in all the people. Well, I'm getting a good look. And I think I want the whites of Dad's eyes separately. So person 4, not the entire person. I want Dad's whites of the eyes. And now that I've got Dad's whites of the eyes, I'll zoom up and let you take a peek. I'm going to whiten them a little bit, whiten the whites of the eyes. Now, the easiest way to do it, and it's not what most people think. Most people are going to go grab that exposure slider and crank it. Night of the living, don't do it. Don't do it. The problem with whites of the eyes, the red or the coloration in the whites of the eyes, it can be removed pretty simply by just dialing the saturation dial by half. Here I am, the left side, the right side, I'm right in the middle. I'm going to split the difference to the left by half. And that just removes coloration. Red in the eyes goes away. It makes them gray. It makes the reds in the eyes, the veins, go from red to gray. Now I can keep pushing, but I don't want to go all the way. It starts to look fake. So what I prefer and what I suggest is that you meet it halfway. If you don't like that, meet it halfway again. You just keep splitting the difference by half. That will remove red eye. Let's go back in and select another mask of a person. Now I could do all of them at once, you know that, but let's go grab Mom. Mom's face. Create. We have a selection of Mom's face, and Mom doesn't want me to increase the texture. She wants me to decrease texture in flesh. If you've taken my full-on Adobe Camera Raw course, you know that any combination of sliders that I drag can be saved as a preset. Let me show you what I would do before I save it, and then I'll show you how to save it. I'm looking at Mom's face in particular. Texture down. Already looks great. Texture's down a little. Clarity, which is mid-tone details. down a little. I'm just saying a little, a little, a little. Sharpness, down a little. Now, sharpness is the darks and the brights being sharpened. Clarity is the midtones being sharpened. Texture is the sharpening value of all of it, but in its tiniest details. Now, if you look at my sliders, what I've just done, you can see that I've just, on this image, dialed it down, 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 and down. If you look at those values, texture, clarity, sharpness, you could just jot those down if you wanted to cheat and use my values, but I'm teaching you, you could use your own to taste. So I've got minus 31, minus 17, minus 24. Those would be a face smoothing formula. Now, there are many. I just did one. It works. How do I save that as a preset? And not just any preset, as a local preset, not a global preset, but a local preset, so that I can use it just here or there. Here I am. I'm in one of my masks. Those are all local. Have a mask selected. Drag those sliders, whether you intend to keep it or not, on mom's face. And then you're looking right here. Person 1, preset. I haven't saved a preset. What would I be saving if I saved a preset? Only the sliders I've adjusted. In this case, 3. Well, I'm going to pop up where it says preset none. And let's save one. Make a new adjustment preset. And give it a name. Now, when I do that, what name would I like to call it? How about face smoothing? I'm making this up as I go. You knew that already. Face smoothing. Next time I go to play, by the way, look at mom's face when I hit the letter P for before and after. Before, after, before, after, before, after. Now, you know, I'm grateful that I'm only doing this to her skin, her flesh, and not her eyes or her teeth or her eyebrows or her hair, because that's all very important detail. Now, I just saved a preset called face smoothing. Let's get out of here. Let's open another image. In fact, before I get to this family, let's go grab a non-female. And let me go and apply a mask, M, create a mask, please, of a person. This isn't going to be new to you now. What did you want? The entire person? I love this. No, I just want his face skin. Odd to look at. I know. This is my buddy, Randy. I love him dearly. But he doesn't look good in green face. But I've got his green overlay. It's highlighted. If I go now just to my preset panel, you can see I've saved tons of preset slider settings. But here's one called face smoothing. Does that ring a bell? And when I run it, it smooths some details in Randy's face I don't want to get caught. Now let's go see what it did. You know what it did. It made the texture minus 31, the clarity minus 17, the sharpness minus 24, and I didn't have to scroll down there and drag those things. It's a preset. Am I stuck with these values? No. The preset offers these as my starting points. On a male, I can get away with less. So I'm going to add some texture back. That's it. Just a little bit. I can always start with a preset and still readjust. It's non-destructive. It's non-destructive. By the way, Randy has really cool blue eyes. Now, he didn't. He does, but he didn't. I've taken it all the way back to the beginning. So what do? Some trick we might make. is iris and pupil selection. You've already seen me play with the whites of the eyes, the sclera. You've seen me play with facial smoothing. Here I have the iris and pupils, and I might just enhance the blue of his eyes. Here I'm using my blueizer here slider, my blue slider on temp versus tint. I might try to, and the next thing I do, I really want to make sure I do while I'm looking at the image in context and not zoomed in. I find it fools me if I zoom in when I increase the exposure. So I'm just going to do a little bit of exposure pop, just a bit, hit the letter P. Now, what else do you see that needs to be fixed? I see whites of the eyes and teeth. Oh. You know, when I was up here earlier, I should have just selected the whole thing. I should have said, I want it all, please, and create 8 separate masks, please, and say create, please. So I've got all the parts, his teeth, his lips, and so on. Now notice it says person 1, person 1, person 1, person 1, all the way down. Let's wipe it out. And I'm going to show you a piece of absolute astonishing magic. Brand new portrait. Pretend I haven't done a thing. Watch. I have no masks. I want every body part, 8 separate masks. Create. I now have them. I haven't done anything to them yet, but I have them. I can't even believe I can say this. When I first got this version, I was so excited about the body part selection. I got so excited. But let me just tell you something about my nature. My excitement, while high, doesn't last. I was happy until I crossed my arms and went, man, I hate that I have to select those 8 check boxes and click create 8 separate masks every time I want to do this. Does that just sound like me? What a whiner. I mean, they just gifted me with the greatest feature set in any Adobe program. And in, 3 hours, I was a whiner again. I thought, wow, I wish there was a way to automate that, to make that more efficient. Well, there is. Now, I showed you how to save a local preset. If you're in a mask and you move your sliders and you go to the preset and you pop up and say new one, it will save a new local preset, a here or there preset. This is going to be a little bit of a skewed answer, but it's a marvelous answer. Instead of using saved mask presets, even though that's what I want, you got to do this. Follow me. We're heading to the side panel to the global presets panel. Global presets. Click. Now you have a panel called favorites and you have one called user presets. And if you don't know any better, when you create a new preset, it's going to add it for you to your user preset panel. We're going to create a new preset. Now, even if favorites was open and you create a new preset, it will not add it to the favorites, is what I'm telling you. It will always add it first to the user panel. What was happening there? I was hovering over presets. Okay, I'm going to create a new preset, a global preset. Where did I find global presets? Right here, the 2 circles overlapping are your global presets. create a new preset. I'm clicking the little sticky sheet, right? A little 3M sticky note. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. A little sticky note, peel it off. And it says, what do you want to call this? I'm going to call this Person One's Body Parts. And just so that you know that you and I are doing this together, I'm going to type BPSOP, Person One's Body Parts. It says, all right, Rick, do you want everything you've done to Randy globally? I don't know. Let me take a peek. You changed the camera profile. I don't remember doing that. You played with the basic slider. I did? Yeah, you played with white balance and exposure and all the rest of those things that are found in that global basic panel. How about curves? You know I love them. And so on. I'm not going to open all those up, but apparently I've done some of that, if not all of that stuff. But look at the boxes that aren't checked. Geometry. That sounds like math, and I'm an artist, so that scares me. Let me pop it open. It says, Rick, you have not done anything with lens correction or straightening Randy out. That's Carrie's job, actually, straightening Randy out. But here it is, effects, caliber. But masking has also not been checked. Hang with me. I'm going to say, you know what? I don't want anything. Check nothing. Except for my masking. Now I'm going to twist it open because if I just check masking, I'm going to get every mask I've already put in Randy. But I can say, hold on. Give me a choice. Do you see the 8 things floating right here waiting for me? Oh, sheesh. I'm not going to click them one at a time. I am going to click masking and get all 8. I just saved a preset that will automatically build custom to every person 8 separate body part masks. I'm going to say, okay, you're kidding me. Let's go look at, oh, by the way, where did it go? When I saved that preset, where did it go? It went into my user presets. Now, if we were playing a little bit of Sesame Street, I would say which one is not like the others. Oh, BPSOP Person One's Body Parts is not like the others. How? There's no star next to it. Oh, if you'll put a star, click the star next to it, then and only then will it show up in your favorites panel also. I'm going to do it. I don't need to look at my user presets. Just show me my favorites and you're going to see BPSOP Body Parts shows up. Let's go look at my mask panel, M. Let's wipe out all the masks. All that hard work, they're gone. Now let's go to my preset, just to show you that when I click BPSOP Person One's Body Parts, it looks like nothing happened. Oh, but it has. Go back and look at your mask panel. M. They're there. That is the most amazing shortcut for automatically, with a preset, building every person's body parts. Now, I just did that for Person 1, but look at my other presets that I've already saved. Person 1's parts, Person 2's parts, I've already saved these. Person 3's parts, 4 parts, and so on. All people's parts, I've already saved all of those presets, and that right there is worth the entire price of admission when you do portrait work or families in groups. These are the kinds of things that raise the bar for your photography over and above everyone else's. The problem with doing these is it takes so long to select the parts. Typically, not now. Not now. I'm going to cancel. Let's go look at another person. You know I probably have already done something to this person. I'm going to hit my masks panel, but let me just show you by wiping out what I've already done so that you can get an idea. There are no masks. While I was saying there are no masks, it found a person. I'm not going to click on that and click on these. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So let's pretend I just did a whole series of photos. Listen carefully, it's going to get even better if you can believe it. I just did a whole series of portraits. And I'm going to go to my preset panel. And I'll choose the BPSOP body parts preset. You know, they're waiting for me by the time I get back to my mask panel. It's ready to go. You said it was going to get better, Rick. Cancel. Yes, I did. Check it out. I just did an entire... What program am I in right now? I'm in Bridge. Did I mention that Bridge and Photoshop and Adobe Camera Raw are a family? They work together. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about the house guest, Lightroom. But for now, I want you to see that Bridge, watch, I can select multiple photos. Let's grab a whole series from an entire photo shoot, for example. I'm going to right click with a 2-button mouse. Or if I'm a Mac user, I'm going to hold the Control key on my keyboard, click and hold, look where I'm heading. This is the even better part. Let's develop all of these photos at the same time. Develop settings. What am I looking at? What just popped up here? All of my favorited presets. Oh my, when you make a preset, do put a star by it. Because if you put a star by it, then you can access them from Bridge and batch process with your global presets, including BPSOP Person Wants Body Parts. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but it just built body parts for every photo and everyone in every photo at once. I haven't even, look at this, updating. It says your edits were pasted, but updating the AI settings may take some time. Why? Because it's comparing and it's saying, well, this person's hair is different than Randy's hair when you saved the preset. It's got me covered. Makes me look good. I don't care that this takes any time at all compared to the time that it saves me. Body parts. What do I do with the body parts? I'll show you more of that in the Yours Day video to come. I'm amazed, you're amazed, we're amazed. Let's go take a peek at another image. Command R, I just want to see if it's there when I go to masks. Sure enough, they were waiting for me. I batch process an entire photo shoot, and by the time I come in to edit, once I leave Bridge and go into edit, all of those masks of all those body parts are sitting there waiting for me. Oh my gosh. Life is good. Life is good. I'll see you next Yours Day, and then next week, a quickie, because a lot of it is just duplication, as you'll see when we unpack the house guest, Lightroom, and Lightroom's masks.